Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a great day today, and in this video we're going to be doing a review for Wonder Woman, which came out in 2017. So to hop right into the review, this is a movie that kind of explores the mythology of the Amazon warriors, and overall it's pretty interesting how they're on a hidden place on Earth, and overall I think it works well into the story, and this fits well into the DC Extended Universe timeline. And as a matter of fact, I think one of the reasons the DC Extended Universe kind of failed and they're having to do a new universe is partly because they weren't entirely sure what the vision was going to be for all of these different movies. So a lot of them just have different tones, different vibes. And I think it would have been good if they just got Zack Snyder to direct them all, because he did a really good job with Man of Steel as well as Batman v Superman. But I could make an exception for this one because although Zack Snyder didn't direct it, it still kind of has the same serious vibe and it just fits the tone of this universe very well. And overall, I would also say there are good performances in this movie from the cast. Visually speaking, it's pretty good, some pretty good cinematography. I can't remember if there's too many shots that stand out like there are in some of the Batman movies, but overall, I think it's done pretty nicely. The music is good, especially the Wonder Woman theme. It still plays when she makes cameos in some of the recent movies, but I think it's just done very nicely. It's just kind of catchy. I don't think you could really get tired of it, and it is pretty nice how this one takes place in World War I, kind of like how the first Captain America movie in the MCU took place during World War II, so that's just kind of neat. And they even had Dr. Poison from the comics, which is a pretty interesting villain, although I do think she was kind of underused. And the character development throughout the story I think is pretty good. I think some of the main characters can be a little bit forgettable, not quite as good as they could have been, but overall I think it works out pretty well. And there is a little bit of romance in there that's done pretty good, I would say. And throughout the movie, there's just a lot of action that's fun to see, and that might be the biggest strength of the movie, just the action throughout. And it is pretty cool how Wonder Woman is trained to use the shield, lasso of truth, and a sword. And so there's just a lot of interesting things that go on with the story. And it just does a good job of making sure you're rooting for these characters to win. And generally speaking, I think World War I kind of has been overshadowed by World War II. So to kind of see some stuff from that era is pretty interesting. So overall, I think it's very solid until you get to the final battle. And up until that point, basically, Wonder Woman realizes that you can't just blame one person for a war, and you can't just kill one person to end war. There are just a lot of factors that play into it, and it's just a really good message. But immediately after that happens, I don't even know what the filmmakers were thinking. They do a complete 180, and there turns out to actually be an evil villain who is responsible for all war, and she kills him, and the war immediately ends. So they had this good message and just completely threw it out the window immediately. It's kind of unbelievable, actually. And in terms of the action, the final battle is done pretty well. It is kind of a cool sequence, especially Steve Trevor's sacrifice is done pretty beautifully, but the fact that they just do a total Uno reverse card is just insane. But overall, I think this works as a movie. It's pretty good. A lot of people would say it might be in the top 3 DC movies, and I don't really think it's up there. But as I said, I did enjoy it. I would definitely recommend it. And if you're watching the DC Extended Universe, you could watch this first because it does take place during World War I, so kind of the first in the timeline. But the beginning and ending take place in the present time, so you could wait to watch this until after Batman v Superman. So overall, on the quality scale of 0 to 100, we'll give it an 82%. Feel free to let me know what you think about it in the comments section down below, and let me know if there's a movie you want me to review. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.